Hello everyone, I'm really excited about this month's topic, but before we dive in, I just want you to consider that you are only ever 5 steps away from a sustainable solution for any life situation when you approach it using the principles of a gap year mindset. And it is my hope that you'll come and visit us at thegapyeargirls.com to learn more. So now with that wonderful sponsor info out of the way, I'm your host, Celeste, and you are listening to episode number 3, Your Relationship to Beauty. As I've been going through my notes, researching and refining our content for the Gap Year Girls membership site this month, we're diving into transforming our relationships with beauty, and I wanted to share in this public podcast for all of you guys listening some of my reflections, insights, and takeaways for you to think about and integrate into your own life to empower your relationships to beauty as well. Shall we dive in? Now, the first thing I noticed is that when I think about beauty, my mind immediately goes to my own personal image. I think about beauty being an industry that profits off of my own insecurities, and I think that there are a lot of negative stories that come up for women in general around beauty because of these standards and how unrealistic and unattainable they are for most people. Standards that many of us are constantly being marketed to as being the epitome of what we should aspire to as our life purpose as women is a bit ironic because the standards themselves that they're telling us to try and work towards, if you look back throughout history, are always changing anyways. You know, one decade it's in to be curvy, the next totally straight and narrow. One decade it's all about being soft and dainty, and the next it's having a superstar athlete body. When we attach our self-worth to other people's definitions of beauty, we are sure to struggle. I know that I have. But what I want you to walk away from with listening to this podcast is that beauty is relative in the eyes of the beholder, and it's up to you to discern whose eyes actually matter when beholding you. Might I suggest that the first and most important pairs of eyes are yours? If you consider the movements that have emerged as sort of a backlash to these unrealistic expectations, there's a whole other conversation that's really sort of condemning beauty because it is this unattainable or superficial standard to aspire to. If women are expected by society to try and become beautiful objects to behold by especially successful men, then in order to reclaim our power as women, some feminist movements are preaching that the complete opposite message is true, saying beauty doesn't matter and what matters is that we're smart, and that what matters is we speak our mind, what matters is we pursue our career dreams, etc., etc. And somehow, because it's something that society values on a superficial level, if I were to desire to be perceived as beautiful, then I'm somehow diminishing my ability to be recognized for anything else. We're sort of given these two polarizing views on beauty and women's empowerment because on the one side, beauty is sold to us by an industry to be that it's everything and it's our sole purpose as women, and the opposite is that beauty is completely worthless and it's a distraction from our true purpose, which is fill in the blank. But I want to propose to you guys here, why can't we be both of those things? Why can't we be all of those things? Why can't we embrace being courageous and independent and brilliant and beautiful too? I realize that many of us don't accept our own beauty because somewhere along the way we've picked up a belief that it was more safe or strategic to diminish our beauty instead of own it for the power that it truly is. We're afraid of who we might offend if we were to dare to say with confidence that I am a beautiful woman. Not placing our entire self-worth on that statement and not basing its legitimacy on how well we measure up to current fashion trends, and not using beauty as this tactic for manipulating others into seeing us any differently, just simply no longer resisting the beauty that we are, and instead seeing ourselves as valuable, worthy, powerful beings with incredible things to offer and contribute. The deeper that I dive into beauty, the more expansive my definition of beauty has become. I meet new people and notice, okay, who is it that I'm attracted to? And not just romantically, but what kinds of personalities am I attracted to? What kinds of character traits am I attracted to? I'm looking beyond the surface in others because I'm daring to look beyond the surface with myself. I'm starting to notice and value that glow of someone who lives with integrity, courage, compassion, and reverence for life. That is beautiful to me. And that level of appreciating beauty goes so far beyond what's currently trending for superficial appearances on the cover of a magazine. Having that sense of appreciation for the aesthetic and intrinsic beauty of our life is something I've grown to find more and more value in the more that I contemplate this. I value the feeling of experiencing life as beautiful, and I make it a priority now to see beauty in the ordinary and seek out opportunities to create more beauty in my environment. My turning point is really just taking permission to validate my own self. And that's when we stop getting trapped in this feeling of needing to measure up in order to please or be good enough for somebody else. Because you're taking responsibility for being the most important person that you want to impress with your thoughts, words, and actions each day. And this is what I want you guys to understand. Beauty is power, right? Think about it. When something's perceived as ugly, we give those things the story that they hold no value. And when something isn't valuable, we stop paying attention to it and we cast it aside to essentially disappear and never be heard from again. On the other hand, when something is perceived as beautiful, we give those things the story that they are extremely valuable. And when something is seen as valuable, we pay lots of attention to it. We focus on it, we care for it, and we protect it fiercely. Think about the implications that this has from a global perspective for a moment. If you, as an individual, chose to rebelliously decide that the world is a beautiful place worth protecting, you're aligning yourself with a story that would guide you for the rest of your life to act in a way that honors your world is inherently valuable, and therefore take care of the earth that you walk on because of your intrinsic appreciation for its beauty. Boom, right? And what if everyone did this? What if everyone chose to walk through their life choosing to see that the earth's living systems are a beautiful place? Right now, it's obvious so many of us don't. We're disconnected from that story because there's such a massive crisis of pollution and environmental degradation. And why is that happening? It's happening because the people currently with the power to make those destructive decisions believe that there is more value in destroying and pillaging the earth for her resources than there is in preserving and enjoying the natural beauty of our earth's systems working in harmony. We value and take care of what is beautiful because there is value in it for us in the feeling of experiencing and beholding what is beautiful in all of its richness and splendor. Those sensations that we experience in our bodies, that is so attractive, it's so alluring. And remember that beauty is simply a matter of perspective. This is just as true for yourself as it is for the planet that we live on. We tend to disregard, ignore, and even make worse the things that we presently see as ugly, right? For example, all the plastic pollution that's washing up on ocean shores across the globe. Many of us, we see things that are ugly and we just look the other way, or we see it as trashed and decide to just pile on more because, it's already gross. It takes a really special person to remember the truth that beyond garbage, there is a beautiful beach worth restoring, and that the beauty of that beach, when it is clean, holds a value that's worth protecting. When you choose a perspective that values beauty and the potential to create and restore beauty where it's presently been lost or ignored, you hold the power to transform the world. You are the only one that can make that choice, but once you do, it will be a paradigm for living that encourages and supports a lifetime of taking care of yourself and the earth that's aligned from a place of love and appreciation instead of a place of fear and obligation. That is true leadership. That is powerful. And that is the choice that I'm committed to, and I hope that you'll make for yourselves too. So that's what we're doing with beauty in this month in our membership site, and I just wanted to share some of these thoughts with you. That beauty starts with yourself, yes, but when you're able to heal these different disempowering stories about feeling like we're not good enough on the outside, the ones that just build up along the way without awareness, once that clutter clears away, you can come back to stillness and intentionally look at yourself in your reflection and choose to see beauty. From this place, you can notice how much more room there is to appreciate beauty in your life and appreciate beauty in other people too, at a level that goes far, far beyond the surface. Because if you can imagine, if you are always focused on what's wrong or what's ugly when you look in the mirror, what do you think you're going to habitually focus on when you look at other people, right? You're going to focus on what you think is ugly and what you judge to be not good enough in other people or the world too. It's all about what are you choosing to focus on. It's not wrong to see a blemish on your face or trash on the road and label it as ugly, but does it serve you to give it that label and then just leave it there? How do you feel when you walk through the world focusing on everything that's ugly and wrong versus choosing to write a new story and focus on what's beautiful? And even more importantly, what do you do, right? What do you do? Whether it's a personal reflection or how that reflection is projected into your external environment, beauty brings us to the present moment to appreciate whatever is right in front of us and take care of it. And that is a skill worth learning. That's the journey that I've been on and why I'm so passionate about sharing these insights and applying the gap year mindset for transforming our relationships with beauty in our membership site this month. So if you're curious or interested in joining us, then please do yourself a favor and sign up to go through the Intentional Gap Year Workshop. Give yourself that gift to deep dive within yourself, to reflect on where you're at and where you want to be going, and empower yourself with the tools and confidence to get there no matter what circumstances you face. We'd love to have you join. Thank you for listening, and if you've got any thoughts or insights from the ideas shared in this podcast, please comment them down below. I would love to read them, and I look forward to connecting with you and hopefully seeing you inside membership soon. Bye-bye.